I don't have cognitive damage done to my brain. And that we also found out very early on. In fact, the psychologist that my mom and dad went to at St. Charles again did his evaluation back when I was 3.5 or so. And his comments to my mom and dad were, he's going to college. So I was going to have physical challenges, but they were to treat me no differently, and they were to encourage my intellectual growth and work on providing support to that development as well as my physical issues.
What considerations, concessions, or aids were made available to you while you were attending your early school? For example, grade school and middle school. What considerations and concessions for people with cerebral palsy were available?
My schools, by and large, did a really good job. No complaints. So, for example, when I was in elementary school, my gym teacher, who, by the way, was a football coach in high school later on, so it's kind of a thread throughout my school years. I talk a lot in my book about what he did and how I was made to be a part of that class. But briefly, I was involved to the extent possible. So, for example, one story in the book I talk about is playing dodgeball. I'd be on the floor playing dodgeball, and dodgeball is a game where you get hit with a gym ball and you're out. So you know, it was kind of a innocent time. I don't know that we had many people suing schools because I could have gotten creamed, but the attitude was, so could the guy next to me. So it wasn't a big deal. So I would squat on the ground and I would catch a lot of balls. I had a low center of gravity and I was a small target. So I would catch a lot of balls and I would get the other guys out a lot of times. And then of course they gang up on me and I get nailed with 3 balls at one time and be done. So that was one example, and that carried through my gym days. Writing was obviously a difficult experience for me. The motor skills to write long essays really weren't there effectively, so my handwriting was awful, still is. So we would have situations where I would write part of an assignment and then dictate part to my parents. That was basically it. I would just have to write less for my assignments. You asked about middle school. Now, middle school was when we began to change classes. So now we have a hallway full of kids and a big mess of things going on. And this is where my lack of motor skills could be a factor because I couldn't negotiate the hallways in a 4-minute time period. So I would leave class early. We had a warning bell. We had a 5-minute warning bell. So when the warning bell rang, I get to leave class. Same thing in high school.